Right now at 6, KDOT invites the public to an open house to discuss the future of US 69 highway.
And we've got a cold start, but seasonably cold start out there. It will be warmer today with plentiful sunshine. A look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the community comes together to help Missouri Southern students dress to impress.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday. It is February, and it is the 27th day thereof on a month with 28 days in it, which means it is almost over. Last week, the longest week we've had so far this year.
Certainly so. Probably the entire winter.
Yeah, it was like we pretty much had winter in 1 week. So hopefully it's about done.
Yes.
We'll have to wait and see for sure because, as I've mentioned, it can snow as late as April here in the 4 states.
Hopefully not.
I certainly hope not either. But at least today, no snow to worry about, no rain to worry about. The only thing we've got to worry about over the next couple of days, at least, just some gusty winds. Yeah. That's going to be it. Let's take a look outside. Downtown Pittsburgh, skies are clear, looking fantastic as we start our day. And a quick look at the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin, looking back to the north along Range Line. It also looks fantastic. We got a beautiful start to the day, actually. Unless, well, maybe that light down there is red. Unless that light is red, it almost looks like it's frozen. I'll have to look into that. All right, future track for today. Clear skies, gusty northwest winds, temperatures above normal. Not significantly so, not like a couple of days ago where we actually broke a record high. But yeah, it's going to be a very nice day. And as you see on the future track, there's nothing there. Now, you may have noticed a couple of clouds off in the distance on the Pittsburgh camera, and that is because those clouds are really, truly way off in the distance. They're off to our south and east. They're outside of this zone here that you'd see on this map. They're down here. They're on their way on out of here for our clear skies today. Temperatures, again, chilly, but seasonably so. We got most of us into the upper 30s. We do have Parsons a little cooler at 31, Neodesha at 32, and our warm spots now, Anderson, Neosho, Cassville, and Bentonville into the 40s. Kids getting on the bus this morning, maybe a light jacket, upper 30s, sunny skies, west winds about 5 to 10. And when that bus brings them back home, low 60s, northwest winds 5 to 15, gusting to 25. And that's what I was talking about with the gusty winds we'll have to trade off for. But in exchange, we get low mid 60s for highs today, sunny skies, just that gusty northwest wind. It's going to remain breezy tonight and tomorrow. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at the weekend, and we'll talk about next week's rain chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, unfortunate news out of New Mexico this morning. Legendary Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman and his wife Arakawa were found dead in their New Mexico home. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's Department say Hackman, his wife, Betsy Arakawa, and their dog were found dead inside their home Wednesday afternoon. The Sheriff's Department says there is no immediate signs of foul play, but the cause of death for the couple remains undetermined. He was 95 years old. Arakawa was 63. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, changes are coming to Highway 69 in Crawford County. Now, it's part of a discussion that started more than 2 decades ago. Yesterday, members of the community gathered for the first of several Phase 2 input sessions. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more on what was discussed and what plans could be in store for the highway.
KDOT is hosting their very first day out of several future meetings about the future of Highway 69. Members of the community came out to give their opinions on what they think could improve the highway.
To make my opinion known again today.
Bert Patrick is a Pittsburgh resident that attended KDOT's open house about Highway 69. One of the ideas he supports is keeping the existing corridor as is, rather than other possible pathways that would bypass Pittsburgh.
I believe that it has the greatest potential for both economic development and to bring residents to the city for activities or to reside here.
Today's open house was Phase 2 of KDOT's meetings. KDOT compiled ideas submitted by the public during Phase 1. Patrick says it's important that people make their voices heard about their community.
It's always important for citizens to be participants in the decision-making process. That's the lifeblood of a democracy.
The 18-mile stretch of Highway 69 that's under evaluation starts at the Crawford-Cherokee County line and goes up to just south of K-47. The KDOT district engineer says the goal of the meeting is to show the community possible ideas that have been drawn up for Highway 69 and to hear their feedback.
This is their first opportunity to look at potential projects that we think are looking at addressing those concerns that they brought up in phase 1 of the study.
All around the room in the meeting are boards with some potential ideas for ways to improve Highway 69. This particular board mentions adding turning lanes.
The ideas that we've come up with to improve the safety along the corridor and to improve the traffic flow, which were the two major items coming out of phase 1 of this study that the locals wanted us to address.
KDOT plans to present a list of potential projects for the community to vote on next fall. Reporting in Pittsburgh, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, if you missed yesterday's meeting, KDOT is hosting more open houses today at Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Frontenac and Northeast High School in Arma. And for many, purchasing a home comes with a lot of factors to consider: time, money, and the impact of inflation. Now, despite the challenges, experts from both Joplin and Pittsburgh believe that buying a home is still a smart choice, even in today's economic climate. Now, we spoke with them to find out why they think it's a good idea to take the plunge into home ownership.
Renting, it makes sense to buy because the cost of rent is just astronomically going up and up and up. And so those landlords have to cover extra costs.
So yes, inflation does stink. It does stink to pay 7% interest rate when we were used to 3% interest rate a few years ago. But if you look at the historic average, I mean, we're still quite a bit less than what it was in the 80s.
If you're a new buyer, Pink says having at least $5,000 saved up and a credit score of 580 will put you in a good position to buy a home. Well, the Jasper County Courthouse received a well-needed repair yesterday. Crews replaced the motor, brake, and gears on the 108-year-old elevator. The parts were so old they had to be specifically manufactured. Crews had to open the roof of the 130-year-old courthouse so the parts could be lowered in with a crane. Now, the elevator has been out of service for at least 7 months, which made access to 3 upper floors difficult for some. Officials say it's unknown how long the repairs will take. And an estimated 10,000 garments were donated to this year's Dress to Impress event at Missouri Southern. Now, every year, organizers set up a temporary department store on campus where students can shop for professional dress wear. Now, they can pick out things like slacks, blazers, dresses, and shoes, all for free. Volunteers from the community help students find the right sizes and give them advice on what's best to wear.
It always feels great to give back to the community, to help these young people get where they need to be in life and help them make some good decisions on making sure that they look the part when they go out searching for that first job after their education.
It's estimated more than 350 students found professional clothing at yesterday's Dress to Impress. Now, since the event started more than a decade ago, organizers say they've helped more than 3,000 students be more prepared for the future. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Amazon's Alexa is getting a major upgrade with the help of artificial intelligence. Plus, President Trump held his first cabinet meeting of his second term and defended his efforts to slash federal spending. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning. Amazon's Alexa is getting a major upgrade for the AI chatbot era. Alexa Plus was unveiled Wednesday. Now, according to the company, the new Alexa is more conversational and can incorporate a user's personal preferences into answers. Amazon says the revamped version of its popular voice assistant can also handle certain tasks on someone's behalf, like booking concert tickets. The service costs $20 per month, but will be free for Amazon Prime members with early access coming next month. The CEO of Unilever, which owns ice cream brands like Ben & Jerry's, has unexpectedly stepped down after less than 2 years in the role. The surprise announcement of Heinz Schumacher's departure comes as the consumer goods giant works to boost its lackluster sales. A part of Unilever's growth strategy involves spinning off its massive ice cream business. The company says Schumacher will be replaced by Unilever's chief financial officer, Fernando Fernandez, on March 1st. Well, today, President Donald Trump is set to host the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom at the White House amid discussion about Europe's role in ending Russia's war in Ukraine. But here at home, the president insisted that his cabinet would follow his orders as he and senior advisor Elon Musk pushed for deeper cuts to federal spending and warned agencies to prepare for more mass firings. Jared Hill has more from New York.
We've had tremendous.
President Donald Trump is doubling down on DOGE.
I think everyone at this table is very much behind it, and if they aren't, I'd want them to speak up, but they're very much behind it.
At the first cabinet meeting of his second term, the president's senior advisor, Elon Musk, defended efforts to slash federal spending and chop the federal workforce.
If we don't do this, America will go bankrupt.
Wednesday, the president signed an executive order expanding the Department of Government Efficiency's power to make more cuts, specifically proposing they trim as much as 65% from the Environmental Protection Agency. The White House is also directing the heads of federal agencies to prepare for large-scale reductions in force.
This country has gotten bloated and fat and disgusting and incompetently run.
During Wednesday's meeting, President Trump also discussed Russia's war on Ukraine, acknowledging that Russia may have to make some concessions. Trump also announced he'll sign a rare minerals deal with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Washington tomorrow, seen by Trump as repayment for the war, but the agreement doesn't guarantee security protections from the U.S.
We'll be on the land, and in that way, there's sort of automatic security because nobody's going to be messing around with our people when we're there.
The Russia-Ukraine war is likely to be a key topic when the president meets with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer today at the White House. Jared Hill, CBS News.
The victory for President Trump came late last night. Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts paused a lower court order that would have required the Trump administration to pay roughly $2 billion in foreign assistance funds to the State Department and U.S. aid contractors just before the midnight deadline. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, quick look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. As you can see, nothing out there. And those are those clouds I was talking about. They're just outside of our area, and that's where they will stay, leaving us with this, a beautiful sunrise. We'll have another look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes on the KOAM Morning News.
Well, forget wondering if you're smarter than a fifth grader. What we have here is, are you smarter than a 5-year-old? Cameron Palome has the details.
Bryce just made this entire train track while I was doing laundry.
It didn't take long for Jill and Kevin Bartlett to notice their little boy Bryce was doing things a little differently than most his age. From using full sentences and building intricate train track designs before the age of 2 to reading and solving math problems beyond his years these days.
We used to get a lot of people who would stop us based on how he was talking and ask us, how old is he?
7, 8, 9, 10.
Their first and only child, they admit they had no frame of reference, but suspected something was up.
We definitely didn't have anything to compare it to, but we were very fortunate because the teachers that he was dealing with in preschool and in kindergarten really opened our eyes up to who he was.
Who he is now is a newly minted Mensa member at just 5 years old, recently tested by a psychologist. Let's just say Bryce's IQ was off the charts, measuring a whopping 145.
I was speechless, to be
Yeah,
completely honest.
you're surprised but not.
Thus begins the balancing act of raising a genius, one they say has been guided by the Deer Valley School District, offering them resources, specialized classes, and more importantly, a community to lean on.
They actually have psychologists come in and speak to parents who have gifted children, and it's free to the community.
Bryce constructs Lego sets meant for teens, and last July the youngster read 100 books in a single month. But with all that he accomplishes intellectually, making sure he gets a chance to just be a kid is a top priority.
It's really, really
100%,
hard. You have to
100%.
remind yourself all the time, like, he's 5.
Now, for a little context, people like Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking had reported IQs of around 160. Let's head over to Chris for a quick look at the forecast.
Yes, we are looking very nice out there. Take a look at that sunrise. I adjusted some of the brightness on there. It looks absolutely beautiful. Those skies are perfectly clear. We'll have another full look at your forecast. Talk about those clear skies, the warm weather, and the rain chances right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:22 now on this Thursday morning. Taking a live look downtown Pittsburgh. Does that not look absolutely beautiful? If there has been a perfect sunrise, this is definitely on the list. The colors blending smoothly, looking fantastic. The skies are clear. It just looks amazing out there. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. That's pointed back to the north, so we're not looking at the sunrise this morning. But still, you can see quite a few more people on the road, and they'll continue to come on out and start their commute. Now, on the future track, we're not going to spend too much time with this one, because this one is the one I go over with you. It takes care of today, tomorrow, and the next day. Well, the thing is, between today, tomorrow, and the next day, other than the temperatures changing and the wind arrows changing, there is nothing on the future track, which is nice. It's going to be breezy today. It's going to be breezy tonight. It's going to be breezy tomorrow. The winds will be out of the northwest today, southwest tonight, and out of the west tomorrow. Now, tomorrow should be one of the windier days we have. It'll also be one of the warmer days we have. And as we go into our Saturday, clouds begin to increase. We'll have partly cloudy skies, and we will be a little cooler. We got a system off to our northwest, brings in a north wind. That brings us down closer to average. So, yeah, it's going to feel chilly, but it'll be a lot closer to average out there. What I do want to talk to you about is next week's rain chances, which we will do so here in just a moment, but let's get through today first. Temperatures looking good. Most of us mid-upper 30s. We've got the warm spot right now is Bentonville sitting at 40, and the cold spot right now is Parsons sitting at 31. So some of us a little warmer, some of us a little cooler, but almost right where we should be. It's another great view of the sunrise from 7th and Rangeline. Just the colors are just amazing this morning. They look great. And we'll have sunny skies all day, low 40s to start, about the mid-50s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today are going to go low to mid-60s, maybe some upper 50s, but I think just about all of us should at least make the 60s. We'll be sunny, we'll be breezy. Northwest winds 5 to 15, gusting to 25. As we head into the evening hours, the clear skies continue. Upper 40s by 10. Of course, with the clear skies, we'll lose some of the warm air, but we will be seasonably cold tonight as we fall back into the upper 30s, and the winds shifting out of the southwest, occasionally gusting upwards of 20. Now we have rain next week. A lot of questions about next week. I want to emphasize, at least at this point, while there is a chance of some strong storms, we're still fairly early in what would be the severe weather season. This isn't looking super impressive, but it does look like we could get a strong storm or two with a greater severe threat at this point to our south and east. But this may be our first round of some strong storms, and I'm going to show you. Monday, we just have the mostly cloudy skies. Could have a few evening showers out there, but that's really about it. It's Tuesday that we see this boundary and see this line setting up here, that low pressure system. So Tuesday, believe it or not, on the maps, looks like a fairly classic severe weather setup, but we're not sure. The biggest question is how much energy, how much instability is going to be in ahead of it. Thinking there's going to be greater instability off to our southeast. So we may get some showers and storms Tuesday, but we're not looking at a significant severe risk at this point, which is good news, okay? We need to ease into the season, not jump into it head first. Temperatures 50s through the weekend, 70 Tuesday. That's the other reason we're watching, see what happens. See, we go really warm and then back to really cool again. So we'll keep an eye on Tuesday for you, and we'll keep you updated as we get closer. Until then, enjoy this beautiful weather. Now we're going to toss it over to Elise, and she's got Health Watch for us.
All right, Chris, thanks. Another potential impact of climate change could speed up our aging. Now, a study by the University of Southern California found greater exposure to extreme heat accelerates biological aging in older adults. Now, people living in areas where the temperature is 90 degrees or higher half the year had 14 months of additional biological aging compared to people in cooler areas. And social media influencers on Instagram and TikTok give overwhelmingly misleading health information. A study by the University of Sydney looked at influencers' posts about 5 controversial medical screenings and found most influencers never once mentioned they were paid to promote the test, and they often never mentioned the potential harms of the test. Misleading social media health information is now considered a public health crisis. And many school teachers are concerned that their male students are being influenced by misogyny online. A study in PLOS ONE showed more than half of teachers have extreme concern that influencers like members of the incel movement are teaching toxic misogyny to kids. That's a look at Health Watch. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, the Joplin Public Library reaches out to the public with an adult literacy program.
And we've got a beautiful start to the day, albeit a bit on the cold side. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, high school students from across the region head to Pitt State for an automotive competition.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's just coming up on 6:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday and it is February the 27th. One more day of this month, then we get into March, the unofficial start to spring, right. March 1st. So, but it's been feeling like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. No, you go.
You've got it. I mean, it's a fact. It's been feeling like it. I feel like the first day of spring was a few days ago on Sunday. Nice. So it's been great outside, and it's going to continue to stay that way. And that's some good news too.
Yes.
I like good news.
Sure do.
That's really, I can sum up the forecast with just that. It's going to be nice. That's all you really need to know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you want some more details. So let's get you those details. First, with a look outside. If you haven't stepped outside yet, it looks like this. It looks beautiful at sunrise, downtown Pittsburgh. Fantastic, to say the least. Absolutely gorgeous mixing of those colors. MoDOT camera 20th at range line. The last few days, it's been pointed to the east. They've got it pointed back north now. But still, clear skies. Folks getting their day started. Roads starting to pick up out there. But otherwise, again, just an absolutely wonderful start to the day. Future track, there's really nothing on it. We've got the wind arrows and we've got temperatures. That's all that's going to change. Actually, the wind arrows don't even change, really. See, they're still out of the northwest, and they'll be that way through the majority of the day. The only thing that's changing, temperatures. We got clear skies. It's going to be an absolutely just wonderful day. The only trade-off we have is it's going to be windy, and I think we can handle that. Temperatures this morning, most of us into the upper 30s, so cold but seasonably so. Cold spot right now still appears to be Parsons at 31. And our warm spot, Bentonville, sitting at 40. Kids getting on the bus, majority of us, upper 30s, sunny skies, west breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. And when that bus brings them back home, about 63, still sunny, breezy, northwest winds gusting to 25. And our highs heading into the low to mid 60s. Again, sunny, breezy, warm, beautiful day. And if you like that, you're really going to like tomorrow because all of these numbers go up a bit. Fortunately, though, the wind numbers also go up a bit. We'll talk about that, the weekend forecast, and next week's rain chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Well, Chanute FFA members participate in their first labor auction. The newly chartered Chanute FFA alumni and supporters chapter hosted last night's event at the Chanute High School. Attendees bid on projects made by Chanute FFA members in the silent auction. Now, for the labor auction, students donated their time to help on the winning bidders' farms, ranch, or business.
Very good seeing everybody out here tonight. It's very positive seeing everybody wanting to give back and have us support them. So it's very nice tonight.
Now, funds raised will benefit students through the establishment of a senior scholarship program and will also support activities and opportunities for students in Chanute FFA. Well, gearheads came to compete at the Crossland Technology Center in Pittsburgh yesterday. The center hosted the annual automotive skills competition. Now, high school students from across the region fought it out for prizes and scholarships courtesy of the Pitt State Automotive Technology Program. Event organizers say the competition presents real-world skills for these students.
In the task, so they have to. The biggest part about anything we do in automotive is reading the instructions and understanding what we're supposed to do with them. We've got vehicles today with 65 plus computers on them. You best know how to read a flow chart and understand what we're supposed to do.
Well, yesterday marked the 6th year of the competition. And the Pittsburgh Public Library hosted its monthly iCraft program yesterday. Yesterday, participants engaged in neurographic art. Now, it's a meditative artistic process that links the conscious and unconscious mind. Participants use Sharpie and watercolors to create their designs. Now, starting this year, iCraft has an exclusive junior program. iCraft hosts each program every month. And a program about snow that just happened to be snowed out a few weeks ago was rescheduled for yesterday. Preschoolers headed out to Wildcat Glades as they revived the magic of snow through a story, song, and craft. The book they read was A Thing Called Snow, following critters as they experienced snow for the first time.
It's just good for kids to learn there's more to the world than a television and a cell phone. And this is a great way to do it. So today we're learning about those animals. Next month we're going to learn about bison, buffalo. A really good story then too.
Now, this is one of many ongoing Preschool Connections programs hosted by Wildcat Glades. And the Joplin Public Library is making reading and learning more accessible. In a program called Adult Learners at the Joplin Public Library, staff are those who are with 18 or older with intellectual or learning disabilities. The program has been at the library for nearly a year now, and staff say it gives people a place to be comfortable and welcome.
I just love hanging out with everyone, just the joy, especially the more they come, the more comfortable they become at the library with new people. And it's just a fun place to hang out and be together, chill, and be ourselves.
Yesterday's books of choice were Woohoo, You're Doing Great, and Wild About Us. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Trump administration is considering to boost egg imports to address rising prices. And we have a mild and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, in Consumer Watch this morning, you see them all across the country, so-called pop-up auctions. The customers attended them in the hopes of finding rare treasures for bargain prices. But what happens when what they actually buy is fool's gold? Well, Dorothy Tucker reports the warning signs to look out for.
These signs luring customers to a pop-up auction with fancy cars, fine jewelry at bargain prices just happen to be in suburban Chicago, but they've been spotted all over the nation. CBS News Chicago Undercover visited a pop-up auction in Northbrook, Illinois last summer.
So it's gold, color yellow.
It was a bustling room with Persian rugs stacked against the wall, cases of expensive jewelry.
This is a blue diamond.
Aisles of fine art.
Because this is a one-on-one piece. You're not going to find in this gallery.
It may be, but on the auction's website, this. While descriptions are believed to be accurate, statements, representations, printed or made orally, are opinion only, not facts.
This is a brainwash. That's his signature.
They're doing this because they're making a lot of money off innocent people, ignorant people, like I was. It has to show the detail.
Rebecca Simmons
that are in
attended her first auction in October 2021. It was a bad experience.
I felt like I had been taken advantage of.
$6,000 is what she spent on an authenticated Picasso. Then came the gut punch.
They were just cheap reproductions.
That was the conclusion of an independent appraiser. It's worth just $70.
I was very angry.
By the time she discovered her loss, she learned what so many have learned once the auctions end. The phone number on the signs no longer works.
Who are these people?
The search for answers? Not easy. These operators use more than a dozen business names. In their background, penalties, suspensions, expired licenses in several states. Two names kept popping up, Azam and Anwar Khan, based in Virginia, outside D.C.
Well, I certainly think that it needs to be stopped. These auctioneers are not above the law.
Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky hopes to use her influence to get the Federal Trade Commission to investigate the auctions for deceptive practices. We've reached out to the FTC and haven't heard back. In the meantime,
you educate the public.
Industry expert Renee Jones.
Legitimate auctions don't just pop up. There's weeks of marketing, online catalog, having a legitimate website, sharing your license information on that website.
We're going to try calling Mr. Khan.
We never heard from the Khans, but we'll keep trying. Dorothy Tucker, CBS News, Chicago.
Well, the Trump administration is looking at boosting egg imports to help crack surging prices due to bird flu. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says it's putting more than $1 billion toward fighting bird flu, providing relief for affected farmers, and developing a bird flu vaccine. Now, according to Consumer Price Index data, egg prices jumped more than 50% in January compared to the year before. President Donald Trump says he's revoking a permit that allowed Chevron to pump and export oil from Venezuela. On social media, the president said he's ending the agreement because Venezuela's leader has not met certain democratic electoral conditions and because the country is not transporting its citizens from the U.S. fast enough. Now, the Chevron permit was granted back in 2022 by the Biden administration, and it has been responsible for about a quarter of Venezuela's oil exports. And Ritz Crackers is spicing up its lineup with its new hot honey flavor. The company says the snack combines its iconic buttery flavored richness with fiery sweetness. The new hot honey Ritz Crackers will be sold at major retailers nationwide. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, got a pretty decent start to the day. It's a bit on the cold side, but it is seasonably cold. It's about where we should be. But a beautiful sunrise here from downtown Pittsburgh. 4th and Broadway, of course, looking back to the east, colors looking fantastic. Murdoch Camera 20th at Range Line in Joplin, looking back to the north along Range Line, looking fairly good as well. So we get this Thursday underway. Quick look at the future track for today. The only thing you're going to see is the temperatures move and the wind arrows, and that's about it. No clouds. We are looking at clear skies, a beautiful day. The only trade-off for this beauty is we're going to have a gusty northwest wind across the region. Outside of that, it's just going to be a fantastic day, and it's going to be even better tomorrow. Temperatures right now, though, again, cold, but this is close to where we should be, if not right at. Most of us into the upper 30s. Again, the cold spot at this point, still Parsons sitting at 31, and the warm spot is still Bentonville sitting at 40 degrees. So, again, chilly, certainly colder than yesterday. We got kind of spoiled yesterday. We were in the 40s and 50s yesterday morning at this time. Kids getting on the bus probably want a light jacket, something they can stuff in the backpack later. Upper 30s, west winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour out there. And as we go into the afternoon and that bus brings them back, still sunny, breezy, northwest winds 5 to 15, occasional gust to 25, and about 63 when the bus brings them home. We're going to have a full look at your forecast, talk about the weekend as well here in just a moment. It's also about time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, but first, here's what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Vladimir Dutip. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Kate Hudson will be here to talk about her new comedy and also making music with the release of her debut album. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Time for some Thursday birthdays, and we're going to start in Pittsburgh with Luke Porter celebrating birthday number 1. Happy birthday, Luke.
And a happy second birthday to Noah Casey in Carl Junction. It says here, love you, Mimi and Papa.
And in Hepler, Renly Harris is celebrating birthday number 6 with love from Mom, Dad, Whitley, and Beckett.
And in Mulberry, a happy 11th birthday to Alyssa Bolton.
And also celebrating birthday number 11 is Kelsey Pickle. Happy birthday.
And in Arma, happy 30th birthday to Stormy Rossetti. It says here, happy birthday, love you more from Mom.
And in Girard, we've got Judy Reynolds celebrating birthday number 64. Happy birthday, Judy.
And in Columbus, a happy 95th birthday to Wilma Mallory.
And we continue our list with Skylar Schonifer celebrating birthday number 18 in St. Paul. Happy birthday.
And a happy birthday to Brandon Buckle in Girard.
And last but certainly not least, Alyssa Bolton celebrating another year wiser, says happy birthday from Mom, Dad, and your brothers. And of course, if you would like to celebrate with us, Elise has some very basic information, but it is important information.
Yes, go ahead and submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@koamnewsnow.com. Sure to include those wonderful photos and messages to meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen, to also include the date of your celebration as well.
Very important information, and we've got some very important information for you. It's the weather. Now today, it's not going to be too bad. It's going to be breezy. Our trade-off the next couple of days for this nice weather is some wind, and I think we can certainly handle that. Live look, downtown Pittsburgh, the sun. Slowly but surely starting to creep up here. Got a beautiful sunrise, great colors in the sky there this morning. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking back to the north. The traffic rise looking nice as well. More cars out there and a beautiful collection of them. It certainly is. Nice group of colors there. Good looking traffic. All right, we don't control the MoDOT cameras. You know, last few days it's been pointed toward the sun, toward the sunrise. This time it's pointed to the morning commute rise, whatever you want to call it. All right, future track for today. We're looking pretty decent. We're going to stay clear. We're going to have gusty northwest winds, and our temperatures are going to be a bit above average across the region, about anywhere from 8 to 10 degrees above normal for most of us. Remember, there's 15 counties here, and I've never actually measured the distance from the farthest southern point of our area to the furthest northern point, but it's a lot of distance, and you know there's a lot of variety in our weather across the region sometimes. Heading into Friday. Okay, overnight tonight, winds shift out of the southwest. By tomorrow, they're going to be out of the west. They're going to be gusting to about 30. So if you are planning, if you're going to go golfing, spend some time outside, maybe do a little fishing or something, you want to keep in mind it's going to be windy. So you want to be cautious, you know, as you're teeing off or if you're casting that line, just be aware it's going to be quite breezy, but it's also going to be quite lovely. In fact, temperatures tomorrow a little warmer for some of us than where we will be today. So a great day ahead. As for right now, though, it is cold, but again, these are near average temperatures for us for this time of year. Looking around the region, we've got upper 30s for just about everybody. Again, right now, cold spot still Parsons at 31. The warm spot is still Bentonville sitting at 40. We start our day clear skies and low 40s to begin. We'll be around the mid 50s by 11 o'clock this morning, and heading into the afternoon, our highs today, a low to mid 60s, northwest winds gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. And into the evening we go, clear skies continue down to the upper 40s by 10. Of course, with clear skies, no cloud cover, temperatures will fall back, but back to near average into the upper 30s, and the winds again out of the southwest gusting to 20. I do want to take a moment and talk to you about next week, because you're probably seeing, honestly, when I scroll through Facebook, now I of course follow a lot of weather folks on Facebook, different from all over the country, and I know some of them, because it's interesting to see, are less reputable than others, but it is interesting to see what everybody says. So if you do have any weather posts you're following, you're probably seeing some discussion about the start of next week, and I know Doug's talked a little bit about it as well. It's something we're keeping an eye on. So what we're going to have heading into Tuesday is a very classic spring severe weather setup. If you're familiar with it, you know, you get the low pressure, you get a cold front, then you get the dry line ahead of it, and you have the warm front that stretches off across the north side of things. You get all that warm moist air in ahead of it, you have that dry air back behind it, and then you get the thunderstorms, especially along either the front or the dry line. We're going to have a very classic severe weather setup going into Tuesday. However, that same setup will appear during the wintertime too, and we don't get severe weather in December sometimes. With it, we just get some snow or some rain. It's all about getting the energy and the moisture up here. That's the biggest question right now going into Tuesday, is how far the energy will be able to spread. Right now, there is a severe threat highlighted for Tuesday, but it is down here, off to our south and east, because at this point it looks as though they're going to get more energy from the Gulf down in the southeast and down south of us for some stronger storms and some severe storms as well, whereas we won't necessarily have that same energy in place for us. But we are still looking at showers and possible thunderstorms as we go through the day on Tuesday, so it's just going to be a matter of how much energy we can get into our area by Tuesday. So we'll keep a very close eye on it. It's not something screaming severe weather or anything to worry about yet, but we'll keep a close eye on Tuesday, and we'll keep you updated on that. We're having another look at your forecast and the news you need to know in just a moment, and when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to see how students in North Carolina are working to help victims of Hurricane Helene.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Well, repairs are underway at the Jasper County Courthouse. Crews replaced the motor, brake, and gears on the 108-year-old elevator. The elevator has been out of service for at least 7 months. Officials say it's unknown how long the repairs will take. And a program at the Joplin Public Library is making reading and learning more accessible. The program is called Adult Learners at the Library and focuses on those who are 18 or older with intellectual or learning disabilities. The program has been at the library for nearly a year now. And an estimated 10,000 garments were donated to this year's Dress to Impress event at Missouri Southern. Students can pick out things like slacks, blazers, dresses, and shoes for professional dress wear, all for free. It's estimated more than 350 students found professional clothing. Now to check up today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door, pretty decent day ahead of us. Chilly to start, but low mid-60s, breezy, sunny skies, northwest winds gusting to 25. Southwest winds overnight tonight. Clear skies continue back into the upper 30s. As we head into our Friday, warm, windy again, but west winds gusting to 30, upper 60s, some low 70s out there. A little cooler, but seasonably so into the weekend. Keep an eye on shower and possible thunderstorm chances as we head into the next work week.
Righty. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making champion chili in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOM with CBS Mornings. Coming up next, the latest on the tragic death of Gene Hackman and a look back on his legendary career.
You can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we'll hear how you can keep your heart healthy year-round.
Plus, Emily Frankowski from Connect to Culture joining us in the studio to talk about some of the upcoming events happening at the Cornell Complex. However, that's going to wrap it up for us for now. Be back here tomorrow morning at approximately 5 a.m.
Yes, we will. And of course, we'll see you today right here at noon.